morning, brothers and sisters. Hector Murrieta with you once again for Catholic Commute on September 11, 9/11. Keeping all the victims from 9/11, 2001 in our prayers. Please remember to pray for them, their souls, their families, and also for the souls of those people that commit those horrible crimes. So let's keep them in prayer. But today I wanted to share a reflection on 1 Corinthians 6, 1 through 11 rather. Today's epistle for today. I had something happen at home today that kind of shook me up a little bit. My son, my young son and grandson, they're not very far apart in age, and I was telling them that, gosh, it seems like the moment they get together, it's like a boxing match where it's like together, and then the bell goes off, and the ref tells them to go at it, and not to get into the full story because it'll get long, but. It was clear that one of them was lying. My son said that my grandson said something, a bad word, and my grandson denies it. So somebody's lying. And, it was really bothering me. It was just really bothering me. And it hit me that, I was, questioning my son, and he really sticks to his story, and was questioning my grandson, and he's sticking to his, and both that I'd be praying for them and that they should pray for each other, and then it just hit me that sometimes as much as something like that bothers us, and we know that it's obvious somebody's not telling the truth or somebody's not telling the full story, we have to just put it in God's hands. Maybe think about this crisis in the church and how Pope Francis just kind of left things up in the air, and I know some people are really bothered by it. And I see a big analogy here, and I was wondering why is this bothering me so much? Maybe because it's real close to home, and was hoping my boy and my grandson would just find peace and go off to school and have a great day, but now we all kind of left with this hanging. So then I realized that, especially with things like this, and obviously much larger ones, there are times where we just have to put it in God's hands and pray that one of them, whoever is not telling the full story, God touches, in this case, his heart, and change, do what's right. And so I wanted to seek some wisdom from sacred scripture. So I went on to today's readings for today in the Catholic Church, obviously. And today's epistle, first reading, was from that 1 Corinthians 6, 1 through 11, where it talks about, and I'm sorry I didn't memorize it, and I can't switch screens to read it, but it talks about, courts and brothers taking things to court, things, injustices that, whether perceived or not, perceived or real, but taking them to court. And he talks about, in 1 Corinthians 6, 1, talks about, how we take things to court. He's telling the Corinthians, you take things to court, and you're taking things to unjust people, meaning, the way I read it, and I like to reflect on it further or hear your thoughts, but the way I read it is he's saying, you guys have these injustices against each other, passing by in front of a church. You take these things and these injustices that you commit, to one another, and you take them to people that are unjust. So I take that to mean, we rely on the courts, we rely on judges, when they themselves may not be just people. When in fact we could, the way I read it further on, when we could really just solve things amongst ourselves, or either or not commit these injustices, obviously, or just take the injustices. There's a part in that epistle that where it says, shouldn't we just deal with the injustice, just take it. But no, we can't handle somebody doing something to us that we find unjust. We want to find justice, and in this case, we take it to court. So it just really made me think about what's going on. I know we're on a grand scale, we're trying to find justice with what's going on in the church, but many times we have to put it in God's hands, because it does say in the reading, it talks about how it asks the question, I believe, don't we know that the only ones that will judge us are the holy ones? And who are the holy ones? Our saints, obviously God, Jesus, Mary. And I take that to mean we got to take it to them. We got to put it in their hands. They will be the ones, well, God obviously will be the one to ultimately judge, but we can't for intercession from the holy ones to maybe touch someone's heart that maybe is doing an injustice, and actually touch our heart too, so that we are not, like in my case today, I was really bothered by this, and obviously I couldn't do anything about it, so I need to put it in God's hands. Our Blessed Mother, I ask for her intercession. So just the thought, brothers, happens every day to many of us, where we see things happen to us directly that are unjust and we really can't solve. Many times we just can't solve them. We need to take it to the holy ones, as 1 Corinthians says, and put it in God's hands, and pray and do our part. All right, brothers and sisters, have a blessed day, a blessed week, and remember, take it to the holy ones. God bless you.